Hey guys, Amanda K. Thornton here, and I just want to ask you guys a question. What do you guys like to do on vacation? Okay, so I'm going to leave this rolling for a little bit, and I'll tell you about some of the things I've gotten to do over the last 4 years, just vacationing, okay? So I've had some really amazing experiences, and it really just hit me, I guess, just like in the last hour or so. A lady asked if I was going to go to an event. There was a company that I was involved in, and I still am involved in it. I just don't go to any of their events as of maybe the last 2 years, just because it's not really aligned on the bigger picture, like where I'm going ultimately. I've been to tons of different events online and off, and Grant Cardone's community and the Prove It community, and now as a part of Dream Trips, going on Dream Trips, right? And then various other little events or conferences and things like that. Anywhere from like the ClickFunnels community to so many different online communities and events online. And I gotta say, of course, real life events is where it's at. Okay, and I feel like you're really far down because you're on my, I've got this little lap desk and it's got a notch just to hold my phone, so that's why you're kind of low. Anyhow, this is my painting right here. I still gotta finish it. It's not finished. Yeah, but I do want most of my painting in the fall, winter, and I just haven't, I don't know, I'm kind of not sure what I want to add to it, but you can kind of see it. It's flowers. You can kind of see the flowers. I don't know. I'll know when I know. And I already got the other design that I wanted to do already, in my mind, so I'm going to already start designing that. And I'm going to paint a giant mural in my closet. I've got this really big closet over here. I've got two really big closets, but it's supposed to be I don't know, maybe like a him and her type of closet. Not really sure. Or maybe one's supposed to be like shoes and the other one's supposed to be like clothes. I'm not really sure. Anyhow, but my bigger closet of the two has this round, concave or convex. What does it mean when it goes out like that? So it's got this wall that kind of protrudes out in a circle. And of course you can't put shelves on it because it's a circle unless you get some really amazing woodworker to do shelves like that. I already have to deal with that on another room of mine that's a convex type of shelf. Anyhow, but don't want to have to deal with it in my closet. So I'm just going to paint a giant mural. So, and my ceilings are pretty tall too, if you haven't noticed. So I think on my second floor here, they are I don't know, 9.5 feet, 10 feet. It's going to be the whole wall, and it's going to, I don't know. I'm still debating on what it's going to be exactly, but I think I'm just going to start painting and it's just going to kind of come to life. Anyhow, I am totally off subject now. Other than the fact that it's going to be something with nature and something to deal with travel and inspiring me every morning. It's maybe I'll even add some words in there. I'm not sure. I don't like painting words, even though I have done that before, but we'll see. Great. I just dropped my headphone. Well, my headphones just dropped. I didn't drop them. They fell. As long as they're not in the walk area. Okay, so anyhow, I wanted to know what you guys like to do when you're on vacation. And like I said, over the last 4 years, I've had some really amazing experiences. I've gotten so out of my comfort zone and I've discovered so much about myself. And I'm so proud of myself of how much I've really evolved and got out of my comfort zone. Because you guys gotta remember, or maybe you guys don't know this about me, because, geez, I really wasn't on social media before 2019, a little bit in 2018, and just maybe one random photo every now and then before that. But, it wasn't until 2019 that I decided that I wanted to grow up my social media and meet people through my online platforms. And really challenged myself to step out of my comfort zone in more ways than one, online and off. And just the amount of things I've done, it astounds me thinking back. Thinking back of how much I've grown as a person, is crazy. Because, like I was gonna say, before that, I was literally in a relationship that lasted half my lifetime, which is crazy to think. Like 20 years of my life was with somebody, and it was always like with that person that I had to do life with. And it really wasn't a choice of what I wanted so much, but what my spouse wanted. So it was really just, I mean, it was fine for many, many years because a lot of the things we did agree on when it came to like travel. Even though we hardly ever did anything together, honestly, guys. I mean, hence, that's where it all ended up. So, but anyhow, it's a whole other story. But just giving myself the freedom and I would say the love and respect that I needed to really branch out since my separation and divorce and really just be okay with traveling by myself as well as just traveling further by myself with my kids because I didn't travel very far with my kids. I mean, I've been tons of places with them, even when they were really super little, just myself. But not as far as I've taken them now. I mean, I've taken them some pretty far places now. Ever since 2019, I took them cross country, by myself with my pets. I've taken them all up the East Coast, down to the East Coast, lots of places that I probably would have never done, honestly, unless my life took a turn in 2018. But yeah, so it's amazing how much a person can grow when they get out of the comfort zone. So anyhow, the whole conversation on this was to get you thinking of what you want out of your vacations and out of your life. Not just vacations. What is a vacation? A vacation is a break from the normal. It's to get you out of the comfort zone, to discover more about yourself, and ultimately decide the direction of your life, right? At least that's how I see it, right? With travel, I've discovered so much about myself and like things that I like and things that I never knew existed. Foods I never tried before, experiences, people, like it just goes on and on and on and on. But some of the things I've done in the last 4 years, again, I would have never did it probably. I cannot imagine myself doing it in that last relationship. Maybe in a new relationship, right? Maybe in a new relationship, my life will evolve more as well. But I haven't been in a long-term relationship since my separation and divorce. I haven't been even really on any type of stable like dating relationship, like seeing the same person or even like for a long term. Only one person over the last 4 years, and it's been like off and on type thing, more of a friendship than anything. Um, so, I never had to consult him, right? I never had to be like, hey, is it okay that I go and spend the weekend with my other guy friend? Because I've done that. I've done that twice over the last 4 years, which would have definitely been out of the picture, of course, in a marriage, and definitely would have been out of the picture any other relationship prior to that. So that was long term. I cannot imagine any of my last like long term relationships being okay with that. And they were strictly friends, okay? So the people I have stayed with in hotels and their houses has been strictly a friend. Seriously. So like strictly friends. And we never had, well, one, we had a conversation about dating, and the other ones, we never had that conversation. But I've stayed with 3 different guys, of course, as strictly friends, and they didn't try any weird, funny stuff or anything. So I've always been really close to guys, anyhow, because I have brothers. So, I'm cool with hanging out with them and as a friend to friend type situation. And I have plenty of guy friends now, which is unheard of for a lot of women. But like I said, I have 3 older brothers. Well, one passed away and the other one we don't talk to anymore. But, you get the point. I'm used to having guy energy, should I say, in my life. So, just, being in the environments of going out as a single woman and going to bars with guy friends and staying out like at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then waking up and going to the gym with my guy friends. That happened in like 2019. I went to events, and we were building a company at the time, and going out really late, getting up early in the morning, going to the gym, and it was just a lot of fun. And then COVID hit, of course, changed a bunch of stuff. Like you think you're going down one direction and then your life turns, again, like within like a couple months. So, even during that time, I bought my RV. I didn't have an RV before. I never thought I could drive an RV. That was nuts to me. Like, I could drive an RV. Like, are you sure? This thing's huge, right? So I bought one I thought I could manage. I was still terrified to drive the darn thing forever. And then I've taken it more places than I can think of now. Like, a lot. Like, at least 6 places I've taken it, maybe more, like, at this point, which isn't, okay. Sure, it's not a lot comparison since, a lot of people have taken their RV a lot more places. My battery's dying. Anyhow, but I've been to different beaches. We've been to a farm. We've been to Miami a bunch of times. And it's just amazing to think how much I've grown and how much I've done, even with my kids, even being a single parent, even being an only parent, even with pets, even with a house, even with all these things that most people like say is excuses. Like, I have responsibilities at home. I got kids, I got pets, I've got a house. It's like, so do I. But I don't use that excuse. Like I said, travel is a big part of my life. It's a huge part of my life. Without travel, I wouldn't feel alive. I would literally feel dead. So, I'm already like planning my next travels now because I'm already like been home for a week and I'm already like, okay, what's the next thing? What am I doing now? So, I'm already gearing up for the next, couple months. But either way, what other things have I done? What can spark your guys's adventures, right? So I've been, this was kind of random, but I went on a private jet in 2020. Oh, just last year. See, this is how fast like all this stuff goes. All right, so that was just last year. That was pretty random. I actually had a family member pass away, and we had to get to him pretty quickly because the funeral was like literally they were like, okay, we're having it in a couple days, and there was no physical way we could get a normal plane, so we just got a private jet, which was a lot of fun because the last time I did a private jet was like 10 years before that, when I sold a company. So it was nice to have that experience again so recently, because I forget, I mean, I still have the memory, but when you are in the environment time and time again, you're like, why am I living this other life? Why am I not giving myself this other experience? Like, I deserve more private flights, right? Or I want to have a private jet, So what does that look like for me? Okay. And you have to stay in these environments that provide that, right? And be around people that have that or that want that lifestyle for themselves. So, of course, that helps going on trips in private jets. So that was one that just was recently. I've been to Grant Cardone's 2 of his events now in the last year. I've been to Growth Con. And I've been to his other one, his first real estate summit, which is crazy to think I've been to his first one he ever had. It's such a big deal that is to me, because I remember before he was even doing any real estate stuff, like ever really like promoting it or talking about it. And so just to see the real process of a lot of businesses or a lot of business people that I admire, and how they run their businesses. And I've had tons of businesses before. I can't even tell you how many businesses that I've had before, because it's more than I can count at this point. Um, but just the experiences, because I've never had so many. I mean, I've had more experiences in the last 4 years than I've had in the last 20, so, which is crazy to think. In fact, I've had more experiences in the last 4 years than I've had in my whole lifetime. And you can just guess my age. How about that? So, yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and I'm excited for the next one. I'm excited for the next trip. So when I joined Prove It, which is another MLM company, back in 2019, it's a supplement, exogenous ketones. It puts you into ketosis. You just add it to water and you shake it up and you drink it. It's super easy. When I joined that company, my first trip with them was in Kentucky. I never been to Kentucky. We had the event at, what is that? Something Downs, where they have the horse track racing. And it was just such a pretty place and so amazing, just to think, there's this like whole culture there that I didn't even know about. I stayed at I cannot stress how beautiful this hotel is. And I literally need to go back just to go to this darn hotel. I can't think of the name of it. Of course I can't. A massive, huge, gorgeous hotel. And I cannot even think of the name of it right now, but it's right there on the water. It's a really pretty city too. Who knew, what is it? Louisville? I know I'm saying it wrong. Louisville. I got it. All right. Who knew Louisville was so nice? Like, it is such a quiet city too in the evening that it's just so peaceful. And then there's awesome events we had there. We walked on fire. It's the first time I've ever walked on fire. I didn't even know I was going to walk on fire until I got there. And they were like, "We're walking on fire." And I'm like, "We are? Okay, sign me up, I guess." I'm not really sure. This is making me really nervous, but I'm doing it. So I got the ashes from my first fire walk, and I never heard of a fire walk before that day. And I'm so glad that I did it. I was so nervous. I even have a video of me just like this, and I'm like looking timid, and I'm just looking lost. It's just amazing just looking at that photo thinking, oh my God, that was me. And look how much I've grown since then. That was the first trip I have made since, my kids were born by myself. Yeah. I'm trying to think, was there any other? No. Since my kids were born, I have never been on a trip before that one in 2019. In fact, I never been on the trip. I don't think, let me think here. I don't want to tell you wrong information, but I don't think, and I cannot ever place back even like from first meeting my ex all the way since we were dating and then married and everything else and then kids. I have never been on a trip before that without someone other than when I was in my teens. So my teens. And that was usually just a plane ride and a family member would pick me up. So it was a big transition for me, and I was super scared to go by myself, and I did it because I forced myself out of my comfort zone, and it was scary as crap, guys. I think I still have some video. In fact, I know I have video because I remember taking video in the parking lot of the parking garage when I was in Louisville. I'm going to have to find that. It might be here on Facebook, actually, because I think I did it on Facebook. But I'll have to find those initial videos I did and just share with you guys, the transformation travel really does have on you, especially me, right? So Louisville was my first, trip by myself as an adult, which is crazy. Because every other trip before I was with my ex, or with my kids, as a day trip or cross country or something. But I always had somebody to care for. And then in this trip, it was just a total mindset shift of saying, it's just me caring for me. I just have to care for me. And I just got to be present for myself. And it was just so weird. And that was a 4-day trip, and stayed at a hotel, never stayed at. I just found one on the way. And then, I eventually got to Kentucky and then back. But it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about myself, which was great. And then I met a lot of amazing people too. And then from there, having so many adventures in, the RV, and then even through COVID, we were traveling, not much. We only went like one place during COVID because I didn't want to go too far, especially because not knowing like the conditions of like the campgrounds or anything like that. And a lot of campgrounds were closed down during that time. But that's the first time I went to Miami, was during COVID. Like, I told my daughter my older daughter, that I'm going to Miami if she wanted to come for her Christmas present. She wanted to come, so we made a mother-daughter trip to Miami for the first time ever. I finally went to Miami after been trying to plan a Miami trip for a while. The first time was in 2017. It got canceled. That's a whole other story. But anyhow, so that was a good trip. And that's the first time I've ever taken her somewhere, like any of my kids, exclusively on a trip with me, instead of taking everybody. So that was a lot of fun, and I got to spend time with her. We went to South Beach, and we were there at the Fontainebleau, and then we went to the Lincoln Arms Suites, and it was just a lot of fun. Yeah, so I keep trying to think of like amazing things we did there, but just going to Fontainebleau was an amazing trip, and even the Lincoln Arms Suites in South Beach is amazing. It's in walking distance to literally everything, and it has a little like kitchenette diner type area in the actual like hotel. So it's really cool because it's like you're staying in an apartment. So, and the building itself is like iconic because it's Art Deco, and it's just a really cute little hotel. It's off of 16th or 17th Street. And Fontainebleau is definitely iconic. It's amazing. You have to go. So I cannot explain how amazing the Fontainebleau is. You just have to go. So the Fontainebleau, like I said, was amazing. And then, let's see, after that trip, what did I do? Okay, so I know I'm going to be leaving out a bunch. I've been on like Grant Cardone's trip. I've been on a yacht, and that was a lot of fun. And that was not a part of Grant's like thing, but it was from the people that I met at the event, which, like I said, it was a lot of fun. And then I came back to Miami and stayed with a friend and went out we went to Boca Raton, we went to Fort Lauderdale, we went, all that area, which I never went to before. And then, of course, just like a month ago or so now, I guess it's been a little over a month now, I was 3 months in Miami in my RV with my kids and my pets, and done a ton of stuff there. I launched Dream Trips there out of Fort Lauderdale on a 4-story, that's 4, it's a 4-story yacht. Never did that before. I said, this is what I want to do. Okay, so this is how manifestation works. And I was having this conversation earlier with my masseuse. I was telling him that, hey, have you ever like told the universe or something like exactly what you wanted, and then it just kind of came? And he was like, not instantly. I'm like, I'm not saying instantly, because sometimes it doesn't work like that. It depends how big of the dream is, right? How big the goal is. And he was like, yeah, it does work. And I'm just like, yeah, I've got so many stories I could say that I said to the universe, like, I want this. I really, really want it. And just believe in it, that it's going to happen, and be grateful and thankful for when it does come. And being on a yacht in Miami was one of those. Because the first time I went to Miami, I didn't go on a yacht. I wasn't even thinking about a yacht. The second time I went to Miami, I stayed with a friend, and we kept driving by the sailboats and the boats on the water. And I'm just like, darn, I really want to like rent a sailboat the next time. But I was only there for like 3 days. And he was like, well, jet skis. And I was like, not really into jet skis. Sailboat, regular yacht, awesome. But jet skis, I don't know. So they might be fun, but maybe another trip. Okay. So I was like, I really want to be on a yacht. So guess what? The next time I was at Grant Cardone's 10X GrowthCon, and I got invited to a yacht, I was like, yes, manifestation. All right. And then I was like, man, this yacht's really nice, but it's only like 100-footer, and I really want to be on a big yacht. So I want to be on a big yacht with lots of people. So like I said, it works like that. It literally works like that. So the next time was launching Dream Trips International, and we had a 4-story yacht, like 4 stories. It's still astounding how big this thing is. So that was out of Fort Lauderdale, and I was just like, wow, you know, thank you, universe, for this opportunity to not only join this amazing company again, and I say again because I was a part of it back in 2019 and during COVID. There was a lot of changes. It shut down for a while and it reopened, and I was a part of the new launch. So I'm super excited about like everything with that. But I was on this 4-story yacht going, geez, you know, anything is possible. And so, you know, the next time, after I stayed in Miami for 3 months, I finally got home. And that's when I did my other trip. Like, I literally was here a week, and then I was off on another dream trip, which was kind of hectic because I was like here and gone, but I actually really needed the break, which is crazy to say. I needed the break from the 3-month like excursion and from being home, because when you're gone from your house for 3 months, there's actually a lot to do, and so I was kind of overwhelmed coming back because I do have a house and there is a lot of stuff that needed to be done because I was gone for 3 months. And so it was like I need a break from my break and my coming back. So I went on that, and it was just the right amount of time to be away and have a... All right, so I lost you there for a second. All right, here we go. Let's see. I know you probably can't hear them. Maybe you can. I've got coyotes. Ugh, I need to get rid of them. Anyhow, there's coyotes outside, and now they're coming out sooner, like earlier. It's only 9:30 here. They usually don't come out until like 1:30. You probably can't hear them, but they're super loud for me. Anyhow, so I went to Punta Cana, and that was amazing. I went snorkeling, never been snorkeling. I went on a catamaran, never been on a catamaran. I went, let's see, I got a monkey was on my head. That was really cool. I like little monkeys. They're really cool. And then toucans. I actually had to hold a toucan. I always wanted to hold a toucan, so it was perfect. And so that was just amazing. And the resort was amazing. The food was amazing. And I'm excited for the next journey, the next like adventure. Like I said, all this has really just happened in the last few years since my separation and my own growth, and just keep challenging myself to just want more, to be more, to discover more about myself. And you know, sometimes I have to wear reminders that this is actually happening. So I'm wearing my Dream Trips right here. My Dream Trips Caribbean, Mexico one this was from Punta Cana. And this is actually my business card in my bracelet. It's pretty cool. But anyhow, so, you know, I wear this mostly just because I want to have that reminder that anything is possible. Because look, I've already done it. I have another bracelet that I had made. Probably it was in 2019. It was just after I got separated, and it says I had it made specifically for me. Which I'll have to show you it when I find it. I don't know where I put it, but it says one day or day one. One day or day one. And it was a constant reminder for me when I was struggling to try to get out of my comfort zone and go to these places and to buy my RV and just to live my life, right? To rediscover exactly what I wanted and who I was and everything. Because when you go through a divorce, or even when you're in a long-term relationship, you lose a part of yourself. It could be good, it could be bad, but, you know, for me, it was a real struggle to restructure my life and say, okay, I was building this life before. It's like, is that really what made me happy? Or it made me happy because I was in a relationship that we both valued that, But do I really value that? Is that really where I see myself? And it was a constant reminder, day one or one day, to be like, okay, today could be my day one, or I could say, well, one day I'll get there, or one day I'll have the money, or one day I'll be, financially fit or free, or whatever you want to say. Or one day my kids will get older and we could do XYZ, or one day I'll be healthier, or one day. There's so many excuses, guys, we tell ourselves of why we can't do it now and we have to do it one day. But just that little saying that said day one or one day always reminded me, like, today could be the day. Why can't it be today? Why can't it? I'm healthy. I'm alive. I'm functioning. I can think. I can make decisions. I have nothing holding me back. It's all up to me, right? And just that simple saying really pushed me through those challenging times, pushing myself to, like, it's okay to buy an RV. Sure, it's a lot of money. Sure, I didn't have the money at the time, but I had the credit. So I had the credit, didn't have the money, and I figured it out. So I ended up getting the RV. I know it was definitely a struggle the first couple years, but definitely it was like the best thing I could do for my family and, where I saw myself going. And then from, joining these other MLM companies and going to events and going to like networking events and going to real estate events and just saying, I need to be in these environments that help me grow, that help me think out of the box, that puts me in new situations, that gives me more experiences. It was that constant reminder saying, day one or one day. And I kept looking at it going, well, why can't it be today? Why can't it be today? And a lot of those excuses for me, and I know for a lot of you, always had to do with money. It always had to do with money. It always been like, okay, if it wasn't money, it was, what the heck am I going to do with my kids? Because I'm an only parent, right? There was nowhere I could just like put my kids and be like, stay there. So luckily they are older. But yeah, it was a lot of like working out stuff with my parents and even friends and neighbors and things like that, and just trying to get a couple days away. Now that they're a little bit older and they're teenagers now, but it was just so hard at the beginning on just being away for just a couple days, because I've never been away for a couple days from my kids. So it was definitely a struggle, but that reminder of, day one or one day. And I'm like, I don't know how much longer I have on this planet, but if it'll make me happier knowing that I tried, then that's all the difference in the world, right? Then that is all the difference in the world. If I knew that I tried my best every day, forget the money. Money can come and go. I already know that. I already started multiple businesses, and guess what? I've lost tons of money, like doing some stupid stuff, just, trying to figure stuff out. And if I'm doing something that's not totally stupid, that is actually going to grow me, that's going to evolve me, that's going to get me in front of new people, more prospects, obviously, more opportunities, more insight, more knowledge, then that's the best investment that I could possibly do in my life. And it's not a stupid investment, because I'm constantly learning and growing and meeting new people that could potentially be my clients, right? And I am so glad that, I have learned that mindset, because a lot of people don't ever really realize that until much later in life. And I just know this because I coach business people, and a lot of business people live in that like day-to-day routine of like, hey, I'm the one that runs this business and I can't go away. I can't do that, because how's the business going to function without me? Unfortunately, a lot of small business owners stay self-employed their whole lives. I know this because my parents have been self-employed business owners their whole lives. So, it's, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, and I wouldn't say it's a good thing. It's just how you want to build your life, okay? And for me, I never wanted to build a business that I couldn't take with me, or that I couldn't leave with somebody else and delegate tasks to. So you know, I forgot what I was going to say there. I lost my train of thought. But it's all about your decisions today, right? Is it going to be day one for you, or is it going to be one day? You got to remember, every day that you're making right now, every decision you're doing right now, every moment that you are using up, every second that you are using up right now, right this minute, is dictating your memories for your future. Tomorrow, you're going to think back on today and say, did I do the best I could do today to get to where I want? Okay. Did I do everything today to get to what I want? Okay. Because today's decisions dictate tomorrow's future. Okay. And this really changed my mindset. And it really didn't hit me until I think it was last year when I read the book, The Reality Revolution, I believe it's called. The Reality Revolution, and it's basically a mindset book. And it was really thinking about, or talks about, the philosophy of, okay, everything that is my intuition, is in my intuition. If I were to think of it like this, my intuition is my future self telling me what I should or shouldn't be doing in this moment. Now think about that. Every time you have a pull, right, that internal pull of a direction, you could say a guided heart, not in the mind, but in the heart, okay? That those intuitions, not those thoughts that hold you back, but the intuitions, that internal pull. If that was your future self saying, this is the path that you need to go on, how would your life have evolved? How much further would you have been? And I think about this because I know for so many years I held myself back from those intuitions. I was like, no, it's not the right time. Or no, let me think about it. Or no, I don't think it's going to work out. And so I let my mind take over my actions. But we got to remember, as spiritual beings, we can decide what actions to take. We don't have to listen to the thoughts that are in our head. We can separate ourselves from those thoughts. Our thoughts are there to protect us from past hurts or things that we think that might hurt us, that has been conditioned into us based on our environment, our upbringing. But we have to break away from that to really grow and understand our true potential. And so, every time I think about, something that is really holding me back, but then I have that pull of like, Amina, just go ahead and book the damn thing. You're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out when you get there. You don't have to put this much thought into it because, the last 2 days you've been thinking about this, you could have already had it booked. And it would be off your mind and you would already be working on a situation that will maybe make you more money, maybe make you better connections, maybe whatever else. You could be focusing your time now on something else that's going to grow you and evolve you. You need to just take quicker actions. And the most successful people in the world say the only reason they are successful is because of timing. Timing. That's it. And everything that I have done to lead me into what I have that you can consider success is because of the timing. It's because I made the decision quicker at that point that has put me in alignment to get me exactly what I have now that I'm proud of. My house was my timing. There was nothing else. It was because the timing was right and I had taken that chance. No, I didn't have quite the money, but the creative financing, and risk taking. And got me my estate. So, you have to say, I want it. I want it for me. I deserve it for me. I'm going to have it and I'm going to figure everything else as it comes, right? And every business has to go through this. Every person has to go through this. Even if you don't want to go through this, you're going to have to go through it, because life is going to put challenges in your way that you cannot overlook. And I'd rather you have challenges in your way that you actually put in your way, if that makes sense. And I hope it does, because you get to choose your challenges. And I'd rather you have challenges that you put in your path. Like, listen, I want this. I'm gonna do it. And I know the challenges is going to be there, but as the challenges come, I'm going to be ready to take on the challenge, okay? Because I want this. Not somebody put it in my way, not because, now I have no choice. It's because I want this. This is the direction I'm going in, and I'm going to figure it out along the way. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay, because that is something that I need to go through to learn a new skill, to maybe find a new idea or a new experience. That's okay, okay? There's no failure in life, okay? There's only challenges. So, I hope this video has helped you to really think of, what do you want to do? What do you see yourself doing in the next 3 months, the next 6 months? We'll say 6 months, because that gets us through winter for a lot of us, going through winter, and puts us into, coming into spring. And spring's an amazing time for growth, okay? So what's the amazing time about fall and winter? It's our time to reflect on our past successes, our past, like you could say, failures, our past challenges, and it really gets us thinking ahead. Okay, where do I see myself in 6 months? Where do I see myself next spring? What do I want my life to look like? And in 6 months, your whole life can change. Literally, you can move somewhere new. You can have a whole new friend circle. You could be making lots of money. You can, of course, you can say all the bad things too, but we won't put in there because this is a positive video. So you can, you can do new experiences. You can, try new foods. There's so much that can happen in 6 months that you can literally rewrite your whole future. You can, rebrand your whole business. You can set new financial goals. You can try a new skill and actually be good at it in 6 months. If you start today, your day one, what can you accomplish in 6 months? It's a lot. And I challenge you to actually complete it in a month to 3 months. If it's something a little bit more challenging, in 3 months, because I'll give you enough discipline to start those daily habits. And then in 3 months, you'll actually have that set routine. In 6 months, you're a rock star. You're a rock star in 6 months. So again, think about where you want to go in the next, we'll say 6 months, okay? And challenge yourself to, start gifting yourself those experiences and getting out of your comfort zone to try new things and new experiences. Because I guarantee you, there is nothing in this world that will change your life faster and for the better than you going out and living more of your life. I can guarantee it. Guarantee it. Time and time again. The best thing for you and for your growth is to get out of your environment into somewhere new, around new people, around new experiences that's going to challenge your boundaries, that's going to challenge your values, that's going to open up your network, which is your net worth, that is going to introduce you to new cultures, new beliefs, new opinions. It's going to grow you. And this whole life is about growth and understanding who you are. Anyhow, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care, and thank you for watching.